UFC Fight Night Vegas 103 is this weekend. It's Kape versus Almabayev, and for some reason we got two guys that should never be in the Apex again. They should be in front of crowds all the time, and they're in the Apex. We got Manel Kape, should never be in the Apex, should always be in front of a crowd. Put him in the Apex. Another guy who's totally deserving of crowds only, Esteban Ribovics. They put him in the Apex too. Don't know what the UFC's fucking thinking here. Maybe these guys are asking for the Apex fights because they want their paychecks from Vegas, like to not get taxed to shit going to places like New Jersey, Canada, California, Australia. Maybe that's the reason, honestly. I'd like to see these guys in front of a fucking crowd, man. Drives me nuts. Set a fight night in Seattle. Seattle's pretty tax heavy. It's interesting which states are and which cities are. But we're gonna go into the picks and predictions. I'm 48-25, dude. The kids turned it on. I'm sorry, I'm 45-28. Kids still turned it on. Jets are back. First fight of the night, Luana Carolina versus Montana De La Rosa. This is an Apex fight, right? It is. And I'm leaning Luana Carolina to probably get a decision done here. She actually has some pop in her hands, seen consistent improvement. She uses her kicks very well to keep her distance. Montana De La Rosa likes to wrestle, but I'm not overly impressed with what she's done in the UFC thus far. Like, she split decision beat Andrea Lee when she lost that fight. I watched her lose that fight. She lost to JJ Aldrich, clearly. But, like, she takes a lot of time off in between these fights. And she doesn't show up looking much better. Got subbed by Suarez. Lost to Barber. She beat Ariane Lipski somehow, but that's in 2021. I'm not too keen on Montana De La Rosa, man. I don't think she's that good at all. I don't think either of these women are that good at all. But Luana Carolina's, she's picking it up. She's on a win streak. She's got momentum. She uses her striking well. Her range is pretty good. Lucy Pudilova, she absolutely kept her at range and was able to sidekick her for a lot of the fight. I can see that happening a lot here. She KO'd Stolyarenko. She got a fucking KO. That's crazy. Ivana Petrovic she beat. She's been active. She lost a split to Joanne Wood. It was a close fight. She got KO'd by Molly McCann with a crazy spinning elbow, but she had some success in that fight. I think Luana Carolina is getting this one done. I expect it to be a decision where she's able to just outpoint Montana De La Rosa on the feet. I don't think too highly of Montana De La Rosa at all. She can get it, but that's why I feel like she's going to lose. So I'm going to pick Luana Carolina because she can't get it. Charles Johnson versus Ramazan Temirov. Dude, Charles Johnson is getting fucking royally disrespected, man. I'm a big Joshua Van fan. I like the fight against Bruno Silva for him, but Charles Johnson should not be fighting outside the rankings. This guy's on a good win streak right now against really good competition. Suma Derji, that's good competition. Knocked out Joshua Van, that's a sick win. Beat Jake Hadley, beat an undefeated Azat Maxim at the time. Lost to Esteban, yeah, but he was able to kind of scramble. Lost to Cody Durden in a fight that he could have won. Ode Osborne, he did beat, and they robbed him. Like, I don't know, man. I just feel like Charles Johnson is just getting fucking consistently disrespected by the UFC here. Ramazan Temirov has pop, has a lot of power. Charles Johnson doesn't get KO'd. He hasn't been KO'd. I believe that's what it just said in his UFC career. He hasn't been KO'd. I think the only way Ramazan Temirov wins this fight is by KO. I think he's going to have a cardio. I think he's going to go out there like a bat out of hell, have a great first round, but Charles Johnson's going to be able to keep at range, kick, be able to wrestle when he needs to. And if Ramazan Temirov goes out there to wrestle, we know how hard it is to wrestle Charles Johnson. Now, Rafael Esteban was able to play the jiu-jitsu game with him, but he was kind of floating. He wasn't using power. He was using more finesse, transitioning to the back, was able to kind of trip Charles Johnson. From what I've seen, Ramazan Temirov kind of shoots the aggressive takedowns and tries to use physicality to get you down. There's not as much, getting to the body lock and getting an inside trip. It's a lot of like shoot the blast double, get to a single, get you against the fence, and try and drag you down. I don't think that's how people can. I don't think Charles Johnson can be taken down that way, honestly. And I think when it comes to the striking, as far as technique and different kinds of strikes, Charles Johnson leads in that category. Ramazan Temirov just has the pop. But I'm going to pick Charles Johnson to get this one done by decision. Maybe a late round KO, but I'm going to pick decision. Think round 1 he's going to lose. I think Temerov is going to come out like a bat out of hell, shooting a million takedowns. Charles Johnson's going to consistently stuff him. He's going to start worrying about the takedowns a little bit. Ramazan Temerov's coming up with the overhand, landing a couple of good shots that Charles Johnson is able to eat, but he's taking the punches. Charles Johnson's able to get the jab off, start landing some teeps. Round 1 will probably go to Temerov. But I think round 2 and 3, you're going to see Temerov get very, very tired and Charles Johnson be able to put the pace on him a little bit. Jab, jab, teep, jab, jab, teep, 2, teep, uppercut, jab, jab. Just mixing it up, throwing a lot of rangy strikes at him to get Temerov tired, get Temerov backing up, and eventually break as this fight goes on later. There is always a chance that Charles Johnson gets robbed because we've seen it happen before. And we know that the UFC loves to push the Uzbekistani narrative. They do. But I think Charles Johnson's going to win this fight. I think he's going to win it decisive enough where you can't take the fight from him. I think rounds 2 and 3 are going to be crystal clear, dominant rounds from Charles Johnson, and he's going to win this fight by 29-28 decision. I'm picking Charles Johnson decision here. And he was an underdog to start this week, so it's not an underdog pick anymore, but it kind of is. It's a pick 'em, so it is what it is. Moving on, Andrea Lee versus JJ Aldrich. I feel like a lot of people are going to pick Andrea Lee because she's been robbed on multiple occasions, multiple. She debatably beat, I think Miranda Maverick was a decisive loss, but she beat Macy Barber. She did. She beat Montana De La Rosa, in my opinion. Araujo was a close fight. She clearly lost to Natalia Silva, got kind of schooled, but there were moments where she had some success. 5-fight L streak here. It's tough to see. It's a cute smile. It is a cute smile. But then again, that makes me think you're not going to win. This is a cute smile where JJ Aldrich is very butch. He's very butch. Fucking A, dude. I'm such a... I don't know that Andrea Lee's getting a submission off here. She lost to Veronica Hardy, but she had good moments in that fight. JJ Aldrich has showed improvements. I think she's more physical. Andrea Lee does pretty well against people that are physical. We got a Muay Thai striker versus just a striker listed here, it looks like. I'm going to go with JJ Aldrich. I think she's going to win this fight by decision. You know what? I don't fucking care, dude. I don't care. This is just one of those ones where, you could get an L on the record, but when you look at the ladies' fights all the way down on the card, if they're minus 200 or anywhere from minus 200 to minus 250, they fucking lose those fights a lot. Fuck it. Andrea Lee. I don't know why. Andrea Lee. They're bound to stop robbing her, right? She's 36, though. The UFC's not going to give it to a 36-year. Fuck it. JJ... I don't know. My gut's kind of telling me that Andrea Lee might have this one, be able to stop a lot of the takedowns, but JJ Aldrich did look much better against Veronica Hardy. She was just getting out technically struck. And Veronica Hardy's got good technique. Andrea Lee doesn't have the best technique. She just kind of finds ways to stall it out. That smile's damn cute. And I think because that smile's so cute, I'm going to go with JJ Aldrich. I'm trusting the more butch woman to get it done. JJ Aldrich by a decision. Fuck it. Danny Silva versus Lucas Almeida. I think Lucas Almeida's pretty overrated. Unless he's not who I'm thinking he is. Yeah. This guy beat Timmy Kwamba. But he got KO'd by Feely. Feely's solid. Subbed by Sabatini. KO'd by Trezano. Oh, he got a KO over Trezano. I'm not justifying this. I know Lucas Almeida isn't terrible. 15-3 is a good-looking record, but I actually think Danny Silva is one of the monsters of the division. If you saw my video a while back of some of the prospects that I think we're it's the what did I call it? Tail to the title. If you saw my tail to the title video, Danny Silva was in there as one of the featherweights. I think he's going to get this one done. I think he's going to find a KO over Lucas Almeida. I think he's going to find it early. I think he's going to be able to implement takedowns when he needs to, and I think he's going to be able to get a KO. I'm going to go with a round 1 KO. I think Danny Silva has one of those performances here. He had a great performance against Josh Kulabau. Josh Kulabau is not an easy fight, but Danny Silva had a really, really good performance. I think Danny Silva is one of the better unranked featherweights right now. A lot of skill, a lot of potential. The ceiling is the roof for Danny Silva. And I'm going to pick Danny Silva to get a knockout here in round 1. Gets a big finish over Lucas Almeida. I just think Lucas Almeida is pretty chinnable. I do. When he faces a big power puncher, if he gets hit clean, I think he's going to go out. So I'm going to pick Danny Silva here to win by knockout. I think he's going to get it done in the first round. I think Danny Silva is very good. Dude, he's a stud. Come on, let's be real. He's a fucking stud. Danny Silva's a stud. Tail to the title. I'm picking Danny Silva by knockout round 1. He's got all the tools you're going to see after this weekend. Moving on, Douglas Silva de Andrade versus John Castaneda. Now, I thought Douglas Silva de Andrade was going to absolutely school Miles Johns. He looked terrible in that fight. Don't know if it was a bad weight cut. Don't know what was going on there. He's got pop. He's got power. But he does struggle with people able to keep it at range. I thought he'd be able to do better when he's in that boxing type fight, against a guy like Miles Johns. I thought he'd be able to land the big overhand, then blast low kicks. He struggled to do that. He's got some decent wins on his record here, though, like Morozov, Stamen, went to a decision with Said Nurmagomedov. But then I look at this and I'm like, he's 39. It's a close fight. UFC's not even looking to keep him around too long. I think Castaneda's going to get it done. I think Douglas Silva de Andrade is going to struggle with the reach, struggle with the kicks here. I think Castaneda is going to be able to do a good job of beating up the lead leg. I think he's going to be able to mix up those kicks to the body, land good jabs, land good twos to follow it up. I'm picking Castaneda by decision. I think if they get in a clinch also, you're going to see Castaneda able to land some really good body knees. Listen, Castaneda's no stud, right? He's good. He's pretty decent. He mixes it up, though. He's got different kinds of strike. He beat Kang Yo Kang, beat Muin Gafarov, got KO'd by Santos. That's not a good look. But he subbed Miles Johns. He's got some gas in the tank, man. He lost to Daniel Marcos, but Daniel Marcos is a good-ass opponent. I'm going to pick John Castaneda here. He's had some time to continue to go out there, work on his stuff. I'm going to pick John Castaneda to win a decision here. Douglas Silva, de Andrade. I think the kicks are going to be the key. I think he's going to be able to keep this at kicking range, and his kicks are going to be the key. He's got to watch out for that spin and wheel kick, but I think he's going to be all right. I'm going to pick John Castaneda to win a decision here. Moving on, Chepe Mariscal versus Ricardo Ramos. I just realized I'm picking against Brazilians this whole card. Sorry, Jefferson. But Chepe Mariscal is damn good. Very good fighter, can mix it up, good striking, good grappling, tremendous cardio, physically strong. And Ricardo Ramos makes mistakes consistently. He consistently makes mistakes. Dives into guillotines multiple times. When he's supposed to strike, he grapples. When he's supposed to grapple, he strikes. You never know what you're getting with Ricardo Ramos here. He could land a crazy spinning elbow, but I think Chepe Mariscal's got a chin of fucking granite. He's got the hustle, the heart. I'm going to pick Chepe Mariscal to get this one done. I actually think he's going to find a submission here, maybe in round 2. Maybe find a way to get to the back. Ricardo Ramos went to a split decision with Josh Kulabau. I thought he lost that crystal clear. Crystal clear. Got subbed by Julian Erosa by diving into a guillotine. Got subbed by Charles Jourdain by diving into a guillotine. KO Danny Chavez, I think, with that spinning elbow. And before that, he took some time off. He's starting to get more active here. But I think Chepe Mariscal is a really, really tough test for him, and I'm going to actually pick Chepe Mariscal to get it done. You know what? I'm actually going to pick TKO. I think that Ricardo Ramos also has a cardio issue, and I think that Chepe Mariscal is going to be able to clinch him against the cage a lot in the first round, land body knees, land knees to the thigh, separate, pressure box a little bit. And Ricardo Ramos is going to throw some crazy stuff to try and get him off him, tire himself out. In round 2, Mariscal is going to get a takedown, start landing ground and pound elbows, and I think he's going to get a round 2 TKO via ground and pound. So I'm going Chepe Mariscal round 2 TKO. Moving on. Mario Pinto versus Austin Lane. Now, Austin Lane's last performance against Rebels to Spain was impressive. He used his wrestling against the guy that clearly didn't know how to wrestle. So obviously, he's got the little bit of a technique, right? He's got the fight IQ. He's going up against another tall guy in Mario Pinto here. I'm picking Pinto, dude. He's just younger. Like, they have similar reach. He's got knockout power. It's been a while since seeing Austin Lane knock anyone out. Yes, he can try and get his takedowns. When we look at Mario Pinto, actually, I'm pretty sure this guy he fought was nothing special. This was a shit fight. Artem Vectica. I remember this card. Cody Steele looked like a monster on this one. Yeah. Contender Series it's fucking awesome. Yeah, dude, I'm going Mario Pinto. I just think he's night and day. I think he's better than Austin Lane. I think he's more athletic. I think I'm going Mario Pinto. I do see him getting fraud checked at some time. Like, he isn't the biggest for heavyweight. But I do see him getting fraud checked at some time. I think he gets through Austin Lane first, though. And I think he's going to find a KO in round 2. So I'm going to go round 2 KO Mario Pinto here. Alan Nascimento, I don't know who the opponent is yet. I was trying to look it up. It's saying he's fighting on May 31st. So we're not going to have a prediction for this one on this YouTube video. But if the opponent does end up coming out, you'll get that prediction on my Saturday video of giving you the final breakdown of all the picks. Final breakdown meaning I'm listing everyone I picked for Instagram. So keep an eye out on that. We're going to move on. Danny Barlow versus Sam Patterson. Now, this is a little bit more of a tricky one. I'm going to pick Danny Barlow because I do think Sam Patterson has a chin problem. But if this gets to the ground, dude, this is probably a Sam Patterson sub. I think Sam Patterson's grappling's pretty damn good. I think his submission threat is very good. He's got a good reach that hangs in there with Danny Barlow. I know Danny Barlow's kind of got the best reach. One of the better reaches here at welterweight, but Sam Patterson's a little tricky. But I trust Danny Barlow to be able to stuff some of these takedowns, not get submitted early, and if it's on the feet for an extended period of time, I expect him to be able to knock out Sam Patterson with a clean 1-2. I'm going to pick a round 1 KO. I think it's going to be a clean 1-2 that Danny Barlow lands on Sam Patterson that sits him down bad, and he's able to kind of like try and stand Sam Patterson up. Patterson's slow to get back to the feet, and then he just kind of hunts in for the finish and ends up getting maybe a TKO against the cage, another left hand to sit him down. I'm going to pick Danny Barlow to get a KO. I'm very well aware that Sam Patterson can absolutely try and get it to the clinch, switch to the back, jump a rear naked choke, and it could be night-night. But I'm going to pick Danny Barlow to get this one done. I know Nikolai Veretnikov is dog shit, but his realm is more in the striking area, and Danny Barlow stood there and struck with him because he's more in the striking realm. This is, can Danny Barlow defend takedowns? I think Josh Quinlan wanted to implement a couple of takedowns on him. Danny Barlow did a good job stuffing those. I think Sam Patterson might have a little bit of trickiness in terms of the strength of getting it to the ground, even though he does have 100% takedown accuracy, it looks like here. But like when he's doing that, it's against Johan Lainez, right? Kiefer Crosby, Johan Lainez. Didn't try one against Ashmouz because he just got fucking sparked. I'm going to go with Danny Barlow round 1 KO. I just think he's got the good boxing, good power. He had his underwhelming shit performance against Veretnikov. Bet he's going to come out looking better in this fight. We're going to move on. Hyder Emil versus William Gomi. You guys know I hate William Gomi, right? He's so boring, dude. Oh, every fight he's in is fucking boring. Jab, low kick, teep, stay on the outside. Jab, low kick, teep, stay on the outside. No damage delivered whatsoever. This guy sucks ass to watch. Hyder Emil's coming off a sick fucking 50-punch combination KO. And when I look here, it's like William Gomi's on a good win streak. Knocked out Giannis Gamori, who sucks, dude. He sucks. Won a split against Francis Marshall, who's actually pretty good. He beat Jarno Aarons, who's not bad. He split decision 1 against Joanderson Brito. It was a close fight. He's got the height here against Hyder Emil. He's got the reach against Hyder Emil. Hyder Emil's a dog, dude. He's a hard guy to knock out. Like, he hasn't been knocked out in his professional MMA career. And he's KOing dudes like Fernie Garcia, Jung Young Lee. I think he's got the cardio. I really do think he's got the good cardio. He's got a tough chin. I feel like if it's going to be like point fighty, William Gomi's hard to pick against, and I always do. But you know what? William Gomi beat Joanderson Brito, and they didn't give him a ranked opponent. I don't think the UFC likes watching this guy fight. I think they know he's boring, and the fans don't give a flying F about him. I can see them giving a win to Hyder Emil here. But then again, the UFC needs more people for France because, Cyril Gane is soy and just lost. Benoit Saint-Denis about to get taken out of the rankings by Joel Alvarez. Nasruddin Imavov's killing it. Morgan Charrier's kind of a dog. Taylor Lapulus is fighting well. Maybe they don't need William Gomi. Everything in my guts tell me to take William Gomi by decision because I pick against him all the time and he always fucking wins. So I'm going to pick William Gomi to win by decision, being able to keep this at range and winning this fight with his fucking shitty little low kick and teep action. Moving on. Esteban Ribovics versus Nasrat Haqparast. This is a tough fight for Ribovics, but Zell Huber was an extremely tough matchup for him, and he just sits there and outgrins it. Now, I actually think Nasrat Haqparast is much faster than Daniel Zell Huber. I think he's got a better chin than Daniel Zell Huber. It don't matter, though, because my GOAT, Esteban Ribovics, is going to win this fight. Now, I think it's going to be a decision. I think we're going to have a fucking war here. But I watched Nasrat Haqparast lose to Jared Gordon. It was more because it was getting into the grappling realm, but they were in Saudi Arabia, so they just gave Nasrat the win. It's just what they do sometimes. But I'm picking Esteban Ribovics, dude. I like the way he doesn't sit there and let the fight get away from him, where, people land a good combo on him, he's always trying to get those strikes back. Someone starts going up on him, he's like, no, I'm getting those strikes back. He finishes his combinations with kicks so well. Knocked out Terrence McKinney cold with a sick head kick. Went to war with Daniel Zell Huber. Absolute war. And now is coming back and fighting Nasrat Haqparast. Another good fighter, a southpaw. I think that right head kick's going to be wide open for him. And I think those kicks are going to work really well for Ribovics. I'm going to pick Ribovics to win a decision here. I think Nasrat Haqparast is a very tough man to put away. He is. But I do think he's beatable. We've seen him get beat. When you look at his record, it's 17-5. Should be 16-6. Split decision win against Jared Gordon that I disagree with. He knocked out Jamie Malarkey, but so did fucking Kama Worthy. Come on. Landon Quinones, he goes to decision with. John McDessie, he goes to a decision win with. Loses to Bobby Green. It's he's on a good little win streak here, but Ribovics is a streaking contender right now. Decision win over Kamwela Kirk, a guy who wanted to implement the grappling, and Ribovics didn't let it happen. Knocked out Terrence McKinney. Went to a fight of the year contender with Daniel Zell Huber and won on Mexican Independence Day. They never give them fights. Them fights to a Chilean over a Mexican guy. I'm going to pick Esteban Ribovics to win a decision here. I think he's going to be able to outpoint Nasrat Haqparast, and I think his shots are going to be more damaging. I think every time Nasrat lands a good combination, it's going to be Ribovics eating it and then giving one back. And then Ribovics is going to go, and there are going to be times where Nasrat's not able to give it back. He's kind of covering up a bit. And then Nasrat's going to go, and Ribovics is going to give it back. I think that Ribovics is so good at being able to stay composed and dish it back when he's got to take it. That's what I see here. I just think that Ribovics doesn't sit there and lose points. He doesn't. He won't let someone get the better on him on points. Now, I know we saw Rajabov beat him, but that's a little bit different. It's with power, and there are moments where he's not out-voluming Esteban Ribovics. He's grappling, he's using power. That's not really what Nasrat's doing here. I think Nasrat, yes, he's got some power, but I think that every time Nasrat lands something, you're going to see Ribovics throwing back, landing the combinations with a kick. You're going to see Nasrat's leg get beat up a little bit here. Throwing shots to the body. I think Ribovics is very good, and I think he's going to consistently get better. I'm picking Esteban Ribovics by decision here. Cody Brundage versus Julian Marquez. There is no world in which this fight should be fucking happening, dude. It sucks ass. Why is this a co-main event? Why? 3 KOs in a row here, dude. KO losses in a row. He sub San Alvi. He sub Maki Pitolo. Those are guys that don't really want to grapple. Cody Brundage, all he's got is grappling. Gregory Rodriguez knocked out Marquez cold. That's a bad knockout. Barry Old knocked out Julian Marquez in an absolute fucking war. It's a lot of damage he took in that fight. And he took a really bad KO against Zachary Reese in the last fight. He's 34. He's 9-5. Cody Brundage is terrible, dude. I will say that Cody Brundage is not UFC worthy. He's not. I just have a feeling he's getting a win. I don't know. Dude, I don't know. I know Julian Marquez likes to bite down and go to war. I know that. And I know when it comes to war, Brundage caves every single time. Anytime he can find a way out, he'll take it. And it's like weird because when he goes to fight Bo Nickel and he's a massive underdog, that's when he decided to look his best. He's like, I'm supposed to lose, so why not give it my all and not be scared? It's like, well, I don't get it. But I actually think Cody Brundage is going to get this one done. I think that he's going to be able to find ways to take down Julian Marquez, get top position, land ground and pound, have good control. Julian Marquez tires out. And I actually think, can't believe I'm saying it, I actually think we're going to see a ground and pound TKO finish from Cody Brundage here. He's going to get a win. He's going to get to stay in the UFC. I'm going to pick a round 2, round 3 ground and pound TKO Cody Brundage here. And I think Marquez is done after this. So I'm going to pick Cody Brundage. I think if it stays on the feet for extended periods of time, Julian Marquez will probably have good moments. But again, I just don't think his fight, his boxing, and his striking is that technical. He lands big bombs, yeah, but it's the same combination every time. It's a big 1-2. Big 1-2. Strong low kick. Big 1-2. And I think Cody Brundage is going to be able to read that a little bit, mix up his strikes a bit, and then get to the takedowns. Time the low kick, get the takedown. Time the 1-2, slip under, get the takedown. And I think that he's going to be able to eventually tire out Julian Marquez, land ground and pound, and get the win. So the first underdog pick in the card goes to Cody Brundage. And I'll tell you right now, he's the only underdog pick in the card. You're fucking crazy if you think I'm picking Asu Almabayev. It's Manel Kape. And it's always going to be Manel Kape. I think Almabayev is one of the more boring fighters in the UFC. Loves to grapple, loves to smudge, loves to hold you there. Listen, so does Muhammad Mokaev. And Manel Kape had a very close fight with Muhammad Mokaev. It was boring as shit. And Manel Kape, yes, is part of that, but it's because he knew he gets taken down, he's going to get held. I think you can see moments of this fight where Kape is going to be like, I'm going to stink it up a bit just to like see what Almabayev does. But I think you're going to see Almabayev's gas tank start to wilt, where I think Kape's going to have a much better gas tank than him. I think he's going to be more conditioned. And he's obviously much better on the feet. And his takedown defense is very, very good too. So I think you're going to see Manel Kape be able to beat up the legs. Honestly, I think it's going to be a boxing-heavy fight for Manel Kape. I think it's going to be very occasional low kicks when he sees that Almabayev is tired and when he's known that he's stuffed a couple of takedowns. But later in the fight, I think you'll see a couple of good low kicks land. I think you'll see Manel Kape start to land great boxing combinations. I think you'll see Asu Almabayev start to get very tired, shooting for the legs, holding on for dear life, holding against the cage, but Kape's eventually able to get out of there. Round 1, he might get controlled by Almabayev for a good portion of it. Part of round 2, I think you see him getting taken down, but he keeps getting back up. Gets taken down, he gets back up. Then at the end of round 2, he's actually stuffs a takedown. Stuffs another takedown. Okay. And that's when you start to see Almabayev wilt, get tired. He comes out, shooting for the legs right away. Kape stuffs it. He goes, I got this guy. He's tired. I'm not getting taken down. That's when Kape's going to start opening up. Boxing combos. Big knees. Uppercuts. Start throwing stuff up the middle to make sure that Almabayev doesn't shoot as much as you know he wants to. And I think Kape's speed is next level. Like, I don't think anyone has the speed of Manel Kape in this division. So I'm going to pick Manel Kape to win this fight. Dare I say a round 4, round 5? I'm going to go round 5 TKO. I think that you see Asu Almabayev wilt. I think you see him get tired. And I think you see Manel Kape put the beating on him in round 5. I'm going to pick Manel Kape round 5 KO here. These are the picks and predictions for the UFC Fight Night card, Vegas 103. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like and subscribe. Let's keep that good prediction record going. I'm sorry there's not a ton of underdog picks on this card. I just don't really see the dogs barking this week. So these are the picks. Hope you enjoyed. And again, if you could, please like and subscribe.